It has been one of those days, guys, that I don't know where the time actually went. So first I had breakfast, I came upstairs to film, and then boom, it's like 3 o'clock. Does anyone else have days like that when you just you feel like you just woke up and then it's the end of the day? Of course, it doesn't help things that I'm still drinking the coffee from this morning. Hello everyone, I'm here today to share with you guys a haul update. So I did a haul 2 weeks ago sharing with you guys some new products I had purchased, as well as some PR samples and all that fun stuff. I also did a 5 first impression for you guys, just talking about some of those products, wearing them on my face, seeing a full day wear test, and I did that last week. And now I want to sit down, having tested everything out, and share with you my final thoughts. And most of the products that I'm going to talk about today are actually on my face, so that helps things. And you guys know the drill, there is a new giveaway every single video in February, and this is what we are giving away today. Leave a comment down below and tell me a new product launch that you are really excited about, whether I talked about it here or you've just heard on the internets, and let me know. I want to hear what products you guys are really excited about, and just be a subscriber to this channel. That's it. That's all you need to do. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Give it a big thumbs up if you do, and don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss out on new videos every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday. And without further ado, let's get into this. So first I want to talk about the only product that I wasn't able to provide my opinion on because I haven't actually gone out and gotten a new one yet. This is what happens when you're a homebody and you never leave your house. You can never actually go out and return or exchange the product that you bought. And that is the Dior Forever Undercover 24-hour full coverage foundation. And the reason is because I bought it online and I thought I knew that I was light, that I would be shade light. But it turns out I'm not. This shade right here, which is like 20 shades too dark for me, this is light. So I will pick up a new one. We will see how it wears, but as of right now, I have no comment. I mean, I have lots of comments, but nothing about the actual wear of the product. Oh, I'm in a sassy mood today. Oh my goodness. A foundation I can talk about is the new Rimmel Lasting Finish 25-hour breathable medium coverage foundation. I'm wearing it on my skin right now, and it is definitely medium coverage. It is buildable. It is more like it's a liquidy consistency, and it has this really cool applicator, which reminds me a lot of the Tarte Shape Tape. And you just kind of just apply it wherever you want coverage. I actually mix it in with one of the highlighting sticks I'm going to talk about in a little bit, but like the Hourglass Vanish, is that what it is? Yes, it's the Vanish highlighting stick. And so what I'll do is I'll put a bunch of streaks on my face of this and then a bunch of this, and I'll kind of mix it all together with my brush. And I find the effect is really, really pretty. It sets well, it works well on top of a bunch of different primers, which is nice. It definitely isn't dewy. It's more, I would say, on the mattifying side. And I also can't comment on the whole 25-hour wear thing because literally, who wears foundation for that long? If I was gonna compare this to another recent launch, which I absolutely love from Physicians Formula, their Healthy Foundation, I would say it's fairly comparable. I would say I slightly prefer the Physicians Formula one because I just like that it's a little bit more fuller coverage, a little bit thinner of a formula, but it does oxidize very, very slightly on the skin. This one does not, and it's a little bit more of a medium coverage. So they have their pros and cons. I think they're both great ones though, so yeah. Good from the drugstore. Next up, I want to talk about the Benefit Bad Gal Bang Mascara. I talked about it a little bit in the haul, having worn it on my eyes, but since I have used it basically every single time I've worn mascara since then, I'm gonna say it's a hit. I'm wearing it on my eyes today, and it just gives the most beautiful, big, black, bold, over-the-top lashes, and I am obsessed with it. And in case you missed the haul, the one thing I will note with it is that it is a very, very long wand, and it is very, very flexible. So I do find that when I'm gonna wipe this off before I get it over everything. So I do find for myself that it transfers a little bit onto the lid. So just keep that in mind when you are thinking of buying that. It does come off quite easily once you let it dry. This is a little tip for you. If you use one of these little spoolies and you brush it against any dried mascara flakes on the lid, they just poof, come right off. It's amazing. But that's pretty much the only thing about this mascara that I don't like. Everything else, it's amazing. Next up is a highlight stick from the drugstore. This is the L'Oreal Infallible Galaxy Stick, and this is in the shade Galaxy Gold. And I used it actually in the 5 first impression video that I did last week, but I did want to kind of just talk about it quickly here because I feel like because I put it on top of another highlight and I mixed it up, I wanted to explain my thoughts on just this product alone. And honestly, I just wasn't super wowed by it. It is a very, very subtle highlight. If you like something more on the subtle side that's going to give a little bit of a sheen to the skin, then maybe you'll like this. But I feel like the way that this was advertised, being galaxy stick and illuminating and over the top prismatic, like I'm not getting any of that from this stick. And also I found that it was a little bit on the heavy side and kind of separated my foundation a little bit when I was looking at it at the end of the day. So yeah, this just wasn't a favorite of mine. Next up is a drugstore palette that I've been really enjoying, and this is the Maybelline Burgundy Bar palette. And it's really nice, guys. The quality of these is very different from some of the previous eyeshadow palettes that I have gotten from Maybelline. They were kind of chalky and dry and not super pigmented. This is different. I've used a bunch of these shades right here. I've used this matte shade, this kind of a burgundy tone, the copper, this lighter shade. Like, they're really, really pretty. Those are some of the shades right there that I've actually used. I would say that the matte doesn't swatch the best, but it's not bad either. And when it goes on the eyes, it's very smooth and very buildable and blendable. The only thing is that there aren't a lot of matte shades in here. They're mostly shimmer shades, but I find that I keep reaching for this. The shades are gorgeous. Another eyeshadow palette that I've been testing out, I didn't talk about this in the haul, but I have been playing with it since that point, and it is the Urban Decay collaboration that they did with Kristen Leanne. Oh my gosh, guys, this palette. Here are the shades right here. They are all matte. I'm wearing them on my eyes right now and just like, oh, I'm obsessed. They're so creamy, so pigmented, so easy to wear, and all of the colors work really well together that you can get a really nice neutral look out of this. Oh, obsessed. Next up is the under eye brightening powder from Becca. This one right here, again, this was something that I used in the 5 First Impression, but I've been testing it out since. And I have to say, like, it just sort of fine. Like, I don't dislike it. It's not my favorite thing I've ever used. I actually think I prefer, this is the powder by Stellar. It's their Haze, which is their like a finishing powder. And I think I prefer this one even more because it really does blur out the look of any fine lines, any creasing, any pores. Like, it does a really good job, and it's noticeable for me versus I don't really notice a huge difference with this one. It does set the other eye area. It definitely does not crease. It's very lightweight, but it's not my favorite. Next up is the Butter London Glazin Face Glow. I was gonna say face gloss. That sounds a lot less appealing. And it's this sort of like basically like a lotion. It has a very, very pinky undertone to it. And when you apply it to the skin, it's supposed to give this nice, radiant, healthy skin sort of effect. And I found that the way that I enjoy wearing this the most is probably over top of my foundation and then putting a highlight on top to sort of like amp it up even more, and also on no makeup days. Now, I will say, just one kind of heads up, it is very pinky undertoned, which I really like. I think it looks really pretty on the skin. Definitely gives that very natural, healthy look. And I apply it all over. I'll apply it to the Cupid's bow. I'll apply it to even my chin area up here in the inner corner of the eye, all over the place. I don't like it mixed in with primer. I think it just sort of defeats the whole purpose. It's not like, I don't know, illuminating enough that it's gonna show through my foundation. And I don't like mixing it in with foundation for the same purposes as well. But I do find that I am reaching for this quite a lot to give more of that healthy, natural kind of a glow. If you want something a little bit more over the top and something that for me at least, it's a little bit more blingy, try the Farsali one. It is the Jelly Beam. It has more of that champagne-y undertone. I'm afraid it's gonna like droop out. This is a little bit more of a jelly texture. It's definitely not as pretty. Next up is a setting spray that I have been absolutely in love with. It is by Hard Candy. It is the Glow Sheer Envy Illuminating Setting Spray. It just gives the most beautiful dewy glow to the skin. It's what I have on my face right now. I personally don't love the look of really matte foundations on myself, and putting a powder on top, it can look really cakey, but just like spraying this all over, it just freshens everything up. Everything looks a little bit more natural, but I still get the coverage that I want. The intensity of the spray is really nice too. Like you can see right there, it just gives a nice fluffy cloud of glow. It does have hydrating benefits in it too, so if you have dry skin, you might enjoy it. This is not for anyone with oily skin. You are going to hate this, but for myself personally, I'm in love. Now on to the Hourglass Vanish highlighting sticks that I talked about earlier. I've been playing around with these, and in a couple of ways, they can be really streaky, and then in other ways, they're just like perfection. So I found that for me personally, if I apply it like streak form on my skin on top of my foundation and then try and blend it, it is very streaky and it does not look good. However, once I've set my foundation and done all that stuff, then I will take this with like a highlighting brush and just dust it on top and get some product on there and then apply it, and it just looks airbrushed. It's so pretty. These are my two favorite shades right here. We have Champagne Flash as well as Gold Flash. Gold Flash is just a lot more white, and you would have thought that these would have been opposite, but no, they're both very blingy on the skin. They're really pretty highlights. I've found that I keep reaching for them, and again, like I said before, applying it and mixing it in with this Rimmel foundation has been really successful as well, and yeah, I really like them. And lastly is an eyeliner from Maybelline, and this is the Lasting Drama Light Liner, and it is in Starlight Gold, and I've been playing around with this a little bit and applying it to my waterline. That's what I have on right now, and it's really pretty. I'll do a big swatch here so you guys can actually see what it looks like, but it is a very light, very brightening effect to the eyes. It has a little bit of a metallic sheen to it. I wouldn't say it's the most long-lasting pencil that I've had. I think this does claim to be waterproof, but I don't find it to be. I applied it to my waterline earlier today and it's still there, but I find by the end of the day it has entirely worn off, but I do really like how it looks. It gives a little bit of a different effect than something that's very mattifying, and it's very brightening, it's pretty, and very creamy. I like it. And that is everything for this video. Give it a big thumbs up if you like these haul updates and you enjoy hauls and want to see more of them. Let me know in the comment section below if you have any requests for future videos, and don't forget to enter today's giveaway as well. I hope you guys are having an amazing week so far, and I will see you guys all in my next video. Love you girls. Mwah!